Hello everyone, we're back after a very long break from YouTube. Reason being is this tank. We've had some big issues with this tank, and I've even made a huge decision on what to do with this tank. So going back to the start when I first set up this tank, from day one till now, it's never grown. I've probably had literally a couple centimeters of growth in the coral in 18 months. I'll give it the first year, that's fine. I know that's always a struggle with tanks, usually. But this has been, it's 18 months now, a year and a half, and I've really persevered with it, tried a lot of things. I've done loads of water changes on this, I've done loads of maintenance on it. There's nothing more I can do on it, to be honest. So I have two options with this tank. I can keep persevering with it, keep going for the next few months, but I know my own tank, and by the looks of it, we're looking at probably towards the end of the year this tank will start looking good, and that may be if it doesn't keep going south. So yeah, that's option number one. Option number two, I completely shut down the entire system, completely get rid of everything, the rock, the sand, the fish, the coral, everything, even the tank, and start completely fresh with a brand new tank, brand new livestock and everything, brand new filtration, biological, everything. Don't transfer anything, completely start fresh. That's option number two. So this tank, it's going to take a while to change course, let's say. It's probably going to take months for it to change course, and it's really not exciting for you guys if I'm just keep complaining about it, keep showing a really ugly tank. It's not fair on the channel, it's not fair on me as well, because it's a lot of stress trying to fix this. So to keep things exciting, and something I really want to do, because this tank really isn't doing so well. It's, you know, this tank didn't go to plan, so I've made the final decision, and I'm 100% certain on this. I know this is going to come quite of a shock and out of the blue, but I have really thought about this for the past week or two, and I'm 100% full on board on my decision. This tank is going to be shut down over the next 2 weeks-ish, the next couple of weeks. Yeah, it's really not doing well. I'm fed up with it, to be honest. It's really stressful trying to fix it, trying to alternate it, and I know that's reef tanks, it's a really difficult hobby this, but the tank I had before this, I had a Fluval Evo 13.5. That tank I'm going to be setting up. I've still got the exact same tank, I never sold it or got rid of it or anything. This tank's going to be completely going, literally the whole thing is going, and then the desk on the opposite side of the room here is going to be put here, which is right next to my bed, which is there, and then the new tank will be put on top of my desk there, which is a 50 litre tank. If you don't know about it, a lot of you probably do from my previous videos. If you look back about a couple of years ago, I did loads of videos on that, and those videos got loads of views as well. A lot of people seem to enjoy those videos because things were new every single week. That was a really exciting tank. I loved that tank, absolutely brilliant. I wish I never shut it down, honestly. I wish I never set it down. And that was running stock light, literally a cheap, probably 30-40 quid light. Alright, no skimmer, 3 fish that were decent sized as well, quite a lot of bioload in there. And I was even keeping SPS, like quite high-end SPS corals in there, even with a stock light and some cheap wave pump on the side, and it grew like mad. A lot more on this, where it's got, you know, real high-end 500-pound lights, real, you know, big beefy skimmer, lots of maintenance, lots of effort put into it, but it hasn't grown. So I'm going to be going back to the Fluval tank. I'm going to be resetting that up. So this weekend I hope to try and at least start the shutdown of this tank, so the corals are going to be coming out. My dad has a tank, quite a tank that's twice the size of this. He's going to be taking in some of the corals into his tank, because I've got some corals that he wants that he doesn't have. So he's going to be taking a few of them. I think he's interested in a few of the fish, a couple of the wrasse is going to be going into his tank. As to the fish and the coral that he doesn't want, they will be most likely, well no, they will be taken to a local fish shop, where I'll probably get store credit or whatever for them. I don't really care what I get for them, as long as they get a safe home. I'm not really I don't really mind. So I'm not going to be transferring the fish. Completely fresh start, new fish, new corals, new rock, new sand, new water, new biological, new filtration, new system, new everything. Apart from the light, I'm going to be keeping one of these lights, which is going to be over it, because it's only a 50 litre tank. It's dimensions, I think it's Peninsula style tank, so it comes out 56 centimetres, and then it's like 25 outwards, and then the height is about 30 centimetres high. So it's a tiny little tank, so one of these lights will be more than enough. I'm probably going to have to run it on a half power, if that, at least, you know, for the first 6 months until I get some coral in it. I'll probably beef it up a little bit. But yeah, I know it's quite a shock, quite out of the blue, but I really have thought about this a lot. I have persevered with this tank for a really long time, and I'm not happy with it. It's a real mess. It really didn't go to plan at all. And I did much prefer the smaller tank, having no skimmer, really low maintenance. All I had was feeding it twice a day, and I cleaned out this sponge that was in it. It was a tiny little square of sponge that took me a couple minutes. I did that like once a week, once every 2 weeks or something. That was the only maintenance I did, and then I did water changes here and there when the nutrients went too high. So a really interesting build of the next over the next year or so. So this tank will be going. That'll be a really exciting but stressful shutdown. Obviously it's not going to be a 5-second job. It's going to take multiple days. Obviously I've got school and that, so on the weekends, this weekend I'll start doing a few bits shutting down, and then the weekend after we'll probably hopefully try and get most of it, if not all of the tank, completely gone and shut down. Obviously there's no rush. I've got no rush to do this. Even if it takes a month, I don't really mind. I've got no rush as long as it goes you know, as quick as it can go. And then this desk will be going over here, and then the tank will be cleaned up thoroughly, properly cleaned up, jet washed, all cleaned up properly. I have a couple plans with the new tank. As for like the type of aquascape, the kind of corals I want to keep, the kind of fish roughly. I'm not going to get into all that now because I'm not really certain on anything, but I have a rough idea of the kind of look of the tank I want to create. Completely different to what I did before. I want to do the complete opposite than what I did before. Although that did do really well, I don't want to kind of repeat the same thing again that I've done on the channel. People just watching the same thing. I want to do a completely different kind of design and layout of the tank, even completely different to this as well. One of the main things with this new tank is I don't want to have a lid on it, so I'm going to have certain fish in there. There's only going to be about 2-3 small fish at the most, maybe just 2 small fish in there. Just keep it low by low. It's only a 50 litre tank, so I can't really have much in there anyway. But yeah, I'll just have a couple fish in there. Obviously they'd have to be non-jumpers, so I'd have to stay away from like clownfish. Small wrasses, probably won't be able to keep them in anyway. Gobies I'd have to stay away from, so I'd probably be limited to probably like damselfish, Bango cardinals maybe. I'm not really too sure what I want to do for fish wise exactly. I have a rough idea, maybe damsels. I might go down the route of having maybe a couple, 3 sapphire damsels in there, because they've never jumped. Damsels don't jump, so it'd be really cool to have no lid on top, just have that top down view. Looks really cool. So that's the plan. With this tank, I'm not going to be selling the tank. I'm going to keep this tank, the glass in the cabinet, for storage. I'll probably I definitely will end up using this tank in the future, next 5-10 years or whenever. Probably use it for a RO container or a new setup. I'll probably end up setting this tank back up over the next whenever, years and years time, way in the future. So you will probably see this tank you know, far later on in the future of the channel. So I'm going to leave this video here. Don't worry, it's not going to be another month or 2 before my next upload. It will literally be a few days. So I will get back with you during next week. So yeah, bye.